Welcome to She Made That, a series that celebrates creative women. I'm your host, Daniela, and every month I sit down with women to hear their stories, what they create, and why.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She made that.
Hi, Ashley. Thank you so much for joining me today on another creative discussion. I always like to start off by asking my guests to introduce themselves. So if you can just give yourself a little introduction as well as the business that you created for yourself.
Hey, Daniela, thank you so much for having me. I am very excited for the opportunity to, talk and share about my art. So my name is Ashley Christine, and I have been an artist for lifetime, really. Been painting my whole life and then some. And just recently, I've decided to take it more seriously. Yet again, I've tried to make a career out of my art several times throughout my life and never fully committed, but now I'm ready to do it. I love art and I love painting so much, and it's the one thing that truly brings me joy to life. I'm ready to make it my full-time job. Not quite there yet. I run my own bookkeeping business on the side, which allows me the time to paint and share my art more, but it's been several years since I last really focused on my art and painted consistently, so my artwork has definitely shifted in terms of style and what I'm painting. And as of right now, I'm focusing a lot on portraits, very vibrant, colorful work. And mostly everything is oil paint is what I'm doing now. And yeah, we'll see where it goes.
That's awesome. I feel like sometimes life distractions make people step away from their creativity for a while. And it's easy to forget the things that bring us joy, right? Um, if you don't mind me asking, what inspired you to start again?
Oh, it's all too easy to forget about the small joys in life. Honestly, I have learned over the years that if I'm not painting, I'm deeply depressed. And making that correlation was eye-opening to me. And that's part of the reason why I started painting again is exactly that, just making that connection of that deep depression is so tightly connected to my art, and if I'm not creating in one way or another, I'm not okay. So I just got to a point where I decided to make it a priority. I want to make this my life. I want to consistently be painting. I know it's what makes me happy and keeps me sane and stable, you know? So yeah, I just woke up one day, said I hate my office job. I refuse to do that anymore. And I quit. And I said, I'm ready. I've decided to do this and this is what I'm gonna do. And thankfully I have the bookkeeping business on the side and I am going to school full time. So I didn't, the job was necessary, obviously, but I was able to make that sacrifice and things might be tight right now, but I am so much happier after deciding to follow my heart and the art ultimately. So I'm excited for this journey, honestly.
Yeah, thanks for sharing. For the most of us, creativity and healing go hand in hand, right? So I completely understand where you're coming from. Now, earlier you mentioned that you paint portraits. Do you paint them through observation or does it just go but with the flow?
So I actually suck at drawing, like really bad. I'm not good at sketching at drawing. Um, Paint is my forte all the way. So I used to kind of just do a quick sketch and basically paint on top of that. And I ended up calling it like molding the face because I would paint and repaint, the nose 3 times over. Because if you know what faces, if you don't get the proportions right, the whole thing is thrown off and it just looks wonky. So yeah, I used to just do a quick sketch and pray to the art gods that it works out, and I would repaint multiple times. Um, the last portrait I just painted, I
just finished yesterday, actually. Um, that one, I finally bought myself a projector so then I can just go ahead and do a quick outline sketch that is fully proportionate and perfect. And then I went back in and painted over that. So that's usually my process, usually a quick sketch. I don't go too detailed because, again, I don't enjoy drawing and I'm not trying to trace out the whole thing with a projector. And then I'll go over and paint multiple times. I think a lot of painters are like that, where you'll paint that first layer or two and then like, oh no, this doesn't look right, and you end up painting the whole thing again. Yeah, that's how I do it. I stick with the painting. I need to. It's on my list of things that I want to do is get better at the sketch and at the drawing, because obviously that'll help the painting as well. But not my forte. I just like to go straight to the color, straight to the paint, the fun part, you know. And to add to that, it's actually really hard for me to just go with the flow specifically when starting a painting. When you get in the groove, you get in the groove, obviously, but starting a painting, I take things way too seriously, and it's very hard for me to let loose and just kind of go with the flow and let whatever happens happen. I am actively trying to work on that. I'm doing a 30-day, I don't want to say 30-day challenge. I'm doing like a 30-piece challenge where I'm just painting smaller 8x10 pieces and trying to just let go of control a little bit and go with the flow a little bit more. I'm 2 paintings in and it's a challenge. But for an artist who knows she's been painting for lifetimes and forever, it's kind of interesting to see how difficult it is for me sometimes. And if anything, it's just a testament to how much healing there is left. You know, I believe that I don't want to say fully healed, but I believe if you're on that track of healing and finding yourself again, that flow, that art comes a lot more easily. And the fact that I get stuck on it sometimes, and I've gotten better over the years, but the fact that I get stuck on it shows that there's definitely still some inner work to be done and growth ultimately, you know?
Oh, wow. I love the idea of using a projector. Sounds like it can make the process a lot easier. And yeah, I don't think there's an artist out there that finishes a piece the way they started. Like, every artwork is a journey on its own, right? Now, I'm assuming that eventually you'll be selling your artwork. Do you currently have a website or a social media page?
I don't currently have a website, and I just restarted my social media account in the last year or so. But you can find me at Shadows of Saturn Art on Instagram, and I believe it's Shadows of Saturn's on TikTok. I'm trying to be a little bit more social on there, but I used to do a lot of nude art, and Facebook, Instagram, Shopify banned all of my art. So I no longer have a website because even TikTok didn't allow me to have my art on the shops. So I am currently resetting everything and again painting new works of art where it would be allowed on social media without getting banned. So please support and find me, Shadows of Saturn Art on Instagram. You'll come across another Shadows of Saturn, and that's just my old account. But please follow, support. I would love that.
Okay, perfect. I'll definitely add your social media account in the description. Thank you so much for joining me today on another creative discussion. Keep doing what you're doing and take care.
She made that. She made that. You're so creative. She